everyone, it's your girl Jay and welcome to Weekly Roundup, a show where I talk about the hottest topics in K-pop, where today... Bang, bang, bang! So things got wild this week when pictures of FX's Krystal and EXO's Kai on a date at an escape room cafe began circulating online. Now, while of course anything about Krystal's and Kai's relationship would be a hot topic, this specifically made headlines due to the blatant invasion of privacy. You see, the pictures were stills of CCTV footage of the couple during their date, and they clearly were not only spread without their knowledge, but taken without their knowledge as well. In addition, the pictures being stills from CCTV means the only people who would have had access to these pictures were staff of the cafe, which means it's not only a situation of invading the privacy of celebrities, but of their customers. Now, of course, when I first heard this story, I got super annoyed. I mean, here you have this couple who weren't revealed on their own accord, but outed after trying so hard to keep their relationship under wraps for obvious reasons. And even after being outed, they tried to keep a low profile. But then you have people who keep snooping around and bringing up secret pictures and things of the sort, who make sure their business will be in the news despite Krystal and Kai's efforts. And obviously, if they weren't a famous couple, these pictures would have never made it online, because in that case, it's 100% clear doing something like that is wrong. But when the person's famous, it seems like people always can come up with a way to convince themselves that invasions of privacy like this are okay because, oh, well, they chose the idol life, so they should know that this comes with the territory. Or, you know, they're famous and rich and have so many fans, they probably don't even care about stuff like this. Now, of course, when Kai fans found out about this, they were like, oh no, you're not gonna do this with our man. Krystal's man, we share our man Krystal's, yeah. And they were actually able to track down the person who spread these pics and demanded an apology. The person in question then took to Twitter to offer both an oral and written apology, saying, "I've written this apology for Kai and Kai's fans who were greatly hurt by the CCTV captures exposing Kai's personal life, which I illegally disseminated. I sincerely apologize to Krystal and Krystal's fans who were hurt by the private photos which I uploaded. I've inflicted harm towards Krystal with my lapse in judgment by uploading photos which show private matters. I'm very sorry to Krystal, who was shocked by my exposure of her personal life. I also apologize to Krystal's fans. It's not as if I didn't know how the fans felt, yet I used that to my advantage to hurt them. I sincerely apologize. I'm sorry. It will not be enough no matter how many times I apologize, but I shall forever regret what I did and reflect myself. I'm sorry." Now, I actually saw some people actually criticizing Kai fans, saying that they were going too hard and doing too much tracking this person down and demanding an apology. But as long as, you know, there was no violence or threats involved, and after the whole thing wraps up, they just leave this person alone, I don't see anything wrong with making this person take responsibility for their actions and demanding they apologize for the harm they did. I mean, if you think about it, it could have been a lot worse, because I'm pretty sure what they did was illegal. So the fact that all Kai fans wanted was an apology in which the person got to remain anonymous, I feel like they really did the least amount in terms of what they could have done to this person. As much as I love the internet, the anonymity, it can make people do bold and awesome things, but it can also lead people to do terrible things knowing that they'll probably never get in trouble for it. And I'm not just only talking about this person. I mean, clearly what they did was illegal and terrible, but I'm talking about just saying nasty and terrible things in general that, you know, if you had to put a face to your comments, you would never be saying. So as always, guys, I'm just gonna remind you, I mean, I'm not like a PBS kind of, you know, public service announcement, but, you know, kind of think about that. Like, before you leave that terrible comment, or you spread that nasty rumor, or you do that terrible thing in general, think to yourself, would you be saying the same thing if you had to have your face and name attached to every comment? Moving on. Dating rumors between SNSD Tiffany and AOMG producer slash artist slash my future husband, Gray, have once again been sparked this week when Tiffany was caught liking and then unliking a picture of Gray on Instagram. Now, the picture in question was actually a picture of both Gray and Zico on their recent episode of Radio Star. But of course, we all know Zico's in a relationship, so most of the focus has been put on the fact that it's a picture of Gray. For those of you who don't know, the rumors between Tiffany and Gray started earlier this year when people began to pick up on the fact that they may have a close relationship due to Tiffany's developing relationship with the AOMG crew. Now, both sides denied the claims, stating that they're just close friends, but ever since the incident, people have been keeping a very close eye on the interactions between the two. Now, y'all know how I feel about Instagram and like Snapchat and social media dating evidence in general. However, even if they are dating, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I mean, they're both grown, they're both cute. You know, Tiffany, you stole my man, but I guess you can have him for now. But I feel like the biggest thing that grinds my gears is that even if back when they denied dating they were lying, we all know the reason behind K-pop celebrities, and you know what, celebrities in general wanting to keep their relationship private. And then when it finally is revealed, people get accused of showing off or being caught up in romance and things like that, when they were just trying to keep it under wraps and making sure that that wasn't the focus of their career in the first place. Now, another issue that was actually brought up out of this was the fact that Tiffany was on Instagram at all. As many of you already know, Tiffany's activities on social media recently got her into a bit of a scandal. For more of that, you can click here. And currently, she's supposed to be in a period of reflection. So of course, people are wondering, why are you liking a picture of sexy ass Gray if you're supposed to be reflecting? Now, if I'm speaking honestly, I kind of agree in the sense that, you know, she's supposed to be doing this period of reflection. Whether you agree that she should be reflecting or not, SM did state that she would be in a period of reflection. I mean, she didn't go to the Hawaii trip, so they put that statement out there. So if you're supposed to be reflecting over a scandal that you got on social media, why would you be on social media, girl? Why? And I'm just saying this purely as like an optics thing, because now she's once again opened up for criticism. Whether it's valid or not, it's once again on her. Now, that being said, I'm not one of those people that feel like when you're reflecting, you have to, you know, sit in a cardboard box and like, you know, eat dog food and just feel so miserable. I mean, she can still like have a life day to day, but I just don't think it was a smart move for her to go back on Instagram. Now, I saw somebody did point out that other members of SNSD started back up using social media, so maybe she thought, okay, if people are cool with them using social media, I can do it too. But I personally think, just for the sake of her trying to avoid, you know, this criticism and trying to get back in good graces, she should only go back to social media when she feels like she's 100% has reflected and ready to come back to the industry. So last but not least, new generation girl group stans such as myself got a treat this week when popular music show Sketchbook invited IOI, Mamamoo, G-Friend, and Twice as guests on their September 2nd episode. Now, while it was super awesome, like, oh, I was dying to see so many groups that I love in the same place, and I actually recommend you guys check out the episode because there's really awesome performances on it. Of course, it did not go without controversy, with many people criticizing Twice for their lacking vocals. Now, Twice being criticized for their vocals isn't anything new, but I think what made this whole situation particularly such a big deal was the fact that they were like in direct comparison with their generational peers. Now, as a huge Twice fan, I 100% agree that vocals is a weakness of theirs. And let's be clear, I do acknowledge that members like Nayeon and Jihyo and Jonghyun are good, but I feel like the problem with Twice is that they have so many girls that 3 girls being good isn't really a healthy balance for a group that's so large. And I would really like to see them improve in the future, and not even as a, you know, way to just stick it to the haters, but I mean, it's a group I like, so why wouldn't I want them to reach their like best potential and, you know, give the best performances that they can. Now, of course, there's always going to be those people who, you know, the critique comes from a place of hate and they really could care less if Twice improve or not. They just like dragging them, or jump at the chance to criticize Twice while, you know, neglecting to criticize people in their own bias groups who may lack vocally. But I feel like even so, that doesn't demolish the fact that it is something that they do need to improve on. I feel like with Twice, they're a really popular and big group right now, and in the future they might be even bigger and they might be one of the most popular. So it's not really that far-fetched that people are going to hold them to such a high standard and expect more of them when it comes to vocal talent and performance ability. It just comes with the territory, and there's nothing wrong with holding them to that standard. But as always, guys, that's my opinion, and of course I want to know what's yours. Do you think Tiffany and Gray are dating? And do you think it's too soon for Tiffany to come back to social media? Or do you think people are being too hard on her? Do you think that the person responsible for spreading those pics of Krystal and Kai on their date is in the clear with just an apology, or do you think they deserve a harsher or less harsh punishment? And last but not least, how do you feel about Twice in their vocal criticism? Do you think that their criticism is deserving? Do you think that it comes from a place of hate and jealousy? Or do you not care at all? Let me know down below. And as always, guys, if you like the video, make sure to like the video. If you love the video, make sure to share the video. That's it for now, and see you next time on Weekly Wrap Up.